generally make a diagnosis based on the clinical presentation. So this is, if somebody was referred to us with a suspicion of FARS, this is what we would do. We will take a detailed neurological and psychiatric history. We will evaluate the movement disorder. We'll review the family history. And this would generally be quite a good exercise for us to get to a diagnosis, and usually we will be quite precise even with this part. But imaging is definitely very, very crucial. So the calcifications, as Francesca mentioned and showed you some scans as well, would be the very important markers for diagnosis. So if somebody's got these calcifications and a clinical history, the suspicion for FARS is very high. What we would do in terms of labs and investigations is we would generally take a blood test for looking for calcium metabolism, because you can understand that if there was problems with a gland called parathyroid or other problems with calcium metabolism, the deposition of calcium in the brain is not due to FARS, but due to other causes that can be correctable. So it's important not to miss those. So if somebody's been given a diagnosis and not sure, I mean, this is one of the things that we would definitely ensure before coming to a diagnosis of FARS. And then obviously the genetics offers a confirmation. It has become much easier these days, thanks to Professor Hulden and his colleagues who've been brilliant in establishing the genetic workup for FARS in such a good way. And usually if we find a confirmation of one of the known genes causing FARS, it definitely helps us make the diagnosis precisely. But even if we don't find the gene, sometimes we just rely on clinical and imaging biomarkers, because as you've just been informed, there are some genes we know that cause FARS, but some of them have been discovered within the last 3 or 4 or 5 years. And if that is the pace of development in this field, it is still possible that we might not know all the genes that cause FARS, and we might still be looking for some if they haven't been discovered as yet.